Yeah, so Keith Andrews sounding a little bit disappointed there that his team didn't get more from the game. But let's just look at the goals that we did get. Madueke made it 1-0 on the 61st minute. What did you like about this?
What I'd liked was, I mean, it's all about delivery. Hincapie found himself quite high at the field and it's an incredible ball. But Madueke finds himself in a space at times when wingers don't want to be in that area. But he kind of gets in a distance where Henry actually doesn't recognise where he is, and maybe defensively he could do better and be aware of his surroundings. However, Madueke, that's where you're going to get your easy goals, but he doesn't make that look easy because that's an incredible header. To be backtracking like he is, to generate and cushion the header, it's like everything's slowed down. And even though the keeper had a slight slip, I don't think he makes it anyway. But Madueke, I thought, was brilliant all night. He really was. He was an absolute threat. And it was definitely unexpected Arsenal to be leading at that moment in time in the game because Brentford were very strong.
Yeah, and for someone as well that's perhaps not had the output that he'd have liked in front of goal, what could have been a big moment for Arsenal there. But Brentford came back into it. They continued, as I said before, to probe, and they caused chaos, didn't they, in the Arsenal box tonight?
And this is why long throws are so effective. At times don't look pretty. Mikel Arteta spoke about being like a casino, anything can happen. And I speak about first contact. If you get the first contact, then you've got a chance of scoring. Lewis Potter's really brave. He gets a flick on there. Lewis Potter, brave, great header because he goes to the top corner. The goalkeeper ain't got a chance, but that's how effective long throw-ins are. And they've scored 4 this season, and I'm sure we'll be seeing this a lot more.
As neutrals, we probably didn't really want this game to end. I know you're not neutrals here. You didn't want the game to end because you wanted to find an Arsenal winner. But there was 2 glorious chances, one for Brentford and one for Arsenal at the end, Jermaine, where we almost got a winner.
Yeah, especially this man going through. Thiago here. You always fancy him because he scored 17 league goals and he's been so efficient in front of goal. I just feel he just hits it too hard. I think you've got to just try and hit it into the ground if you are going to do that, put your laces through it. But it was a big chance. Yeah,
and this one, Gabriel Martinelli might be replaying this one in his head for a few days.
Yeah, he's been in this situation before, coming off the bench and getting match winning. But yes, he's overthought this. He hasn't got the picture before going, and he has to hit it first time or speed up his feet. But look, it'd be disappointing not to put that away. But look, Brentford deserves something out of the game tonight.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? That's a fair assessment. And Keith Andrews said it.
Yeah, I think on reflection, I think you watch it and you see the chances, good chances, even though Arsenal had the chance at the end. But second half, I think Brentford are a better team. Probably should. They'll be disappointed they didn't get 3 points.
OK, well, Arsenal dropped points then on Thursday night. How did Well, what a few days it's been for Manchester City getting that win against Liverpool. And now, given what we've seen for Arsenal tonight, sorry to say this to you, Theo, just how big a win did last night feel, particularly the manner of the win as well?
Yeah, they did the job, didn't they? And then they could rest some players as well. And they are starting to click now, aren't they, as well? And as soon as Haaland scores, it's always a problem for anyone. But look, that's what Man City do. They kind of win games in the first half, and then they've been disappointing in the second half, but they kind of steady the ship in the second half against Fulham, who I expect a little bit more from. However, Man City will always be a problem. They will.
That was a lot more controlled performance from Manchester City than perhaps we've seen, and especially compared to the chaos of Sunday.
It was a convincing performance, really good.
What have you made of the start Antoine Semenyo has made at City? Because he was brilliant at Bournemouth, and it looks like he's just transferred that to his new club.
It's refreshing to see when a player that's really grown in stature from Bournemouth into now Man City, and he's already feels like he's been there for years, and I feel like he just take the pressure off with the amount of goals he's scoring as well, considering the position he's in as a winger. I think he's third in the top goal scorer in this moment in time with 13 Premier League goals. But he's just so direct, and he always has a picture, and he's comfortable on the ball, both-footed as well. And it's just another great option that Man City have now. They have Doku, who will be coming back soon, I'm pretty sure of that. But he's been absolutely so refreshing to see, and he's just gelled into that Man City mould.
The difference when you sign, mid-season, January, when you're fit, and then you just take your form. Well, he's taking his form from Bournemouth into his new team. He's hit the ground running, and like I said, when you score goals if you're a full player and you score goals, for a new team, then it's confident. It's just. He could do everything.
Let's see how the outsiders in this Premier League title race got on.
Absolutely, as well. And with the squad and the restrictions they have as a football club, they can't be like a Man City or Arsenal. So they are in a great place. They've got a fantastic manager, of course. He kind of makes everyone click, doesn't he? Yeah. He really does. He brings the best out of a lot of players. But look, Aston Villa are still a threat. I really feel like they are.
They're a threat? Mm-hmm. Are they in this title race?
Why not?
Yeah.
I think tactically, he's probably the best manager in the league. with how he sets his team up, how they play. Yeah, you have to say they're a top team. On their day, the best version of Aston Villa and the players, you know, they can beat anyone.
It's remarkable, isn't it? Because they've dropped, in a couple of recent home matches, they've dropped points against teams that perhaps we wouldn't expect them to. Had they not done that, they're only 3 points behind Manchester City. Will have more opportunities to wax lyrical about him when he does break.
Well, a really tough place to come. We knew that. Very difficult to dominate the game through long periods because they are really good. They drag you to a game where anytime the ball is in and around the byline or in the channel, you put the ball out for a throw-in. And it's, it's like a casino. Anything can happen and something really bad can happen. And you have to navigate through that. I think after the first 15 minutes, we started to dominate the game. I started the second half really well, the first 20-25 minutes. They scored the goal, and from there we lacked more composure, I think, to maintain the ball better, to play in the right areas, to stay more disciplined, because we started to give a lot of unnecessary free kicks away and with bad clearances, and allow the ball in the channels and start to generate set pieces, and they are really, really good at it, so credit to them as well.
Arsenal have just thrown down a massive statement in the title race, stretching their lead to 4 points and cranking the pressure all the way up. The Emirates is buzzing, the momentum feels real, and every win now carries that extra edge of belief. This isn't just about points on the board anymore, it's about nerve, consistency, and whether this squad can handle the weight of expectation when the spotlight is at its brightest. But don't count Aston Villa out for a second. They're right on Arsenal's heels, hunting in packs and ready to pounce on any slip-up. One drop point, one shaky performance, and suddenly the whole race flips on its head. This is the stage of the season where champions are made, challengers reveal their steel, and every fixture feels like a final. Buckle up, the title race is officially on fire. Fire.